Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, so I was gonna do a little stream here. Um, okay, so you just set this up really quick. All right, there we go. So this is the Leopard A1 L44, which has a 120 millimeter bore, so it's a smooth barrel. So it's basically like the Abrams, but it's a 120. Uh, yeah. So this was actually gifted to me. Show you guys what I mean by that is it's a premium vehicle. So it's basically the premium vehicle. The package is $59, and it comes with like 2,500 silver, 15 days of premium. So that added on to the other premium that I had already, so that's good. So I'm working on getting the whatever this is called, the Kug Blitz. It's kind of funny that this tank. I mean, you'd think they'd be. Yeah, I mean, it's got longer barrel. Seems like it'd be more accurate. It's got armor. This one doesn't, and it's made from a vehicle. But hey, it says it's 7.0, so I'm gonna research this, and then I might research the Jag Tiger. Um, I don't really know if it's any good, honestly. I don't really know if it's any good. But it does have the 128 millimeter on it. But this is the one I actually really want to go for is the M48A2. And then I can get the actual um, Leopard A1A1. This one has a 105 millimeter gun instead of the 120, so it's not the L44. But this one seems to be making me quite a bit of lion heads or silver. So let me just check something real quick. Make sure the stream quality. I don't know why I tried to upload earlier and it wouldn't work. So it's weird. They changed my coding, which means I'm gonna say probably because I'm not getting nearly as many views as I used to like a year ago. Probably what's happening is that they're starting to slowly take away the privileges that I've earned. For instance, like at some point they may take away the ability to stream, which I could do a stream and just record it and just not edit it and just send it up live anyway, even if they did remove it. But to be honest, I haven't really wanted to do YouTube for a while. I mean, I like sharing videos with people, but I don't really get a lot of feedback these days. So, yeah. So I just been trying my own thing here, hoping that people will maybe support me on this a little bit more, especially my subscribers. You know, out of the 23 or 22,000 subscribers I have, I probably get 20 to pay attention long enough to actually want to watch me. Um, but I do have people that have been my friends that tune in, but it's not really, like I said, it's not like a lot of people. You know, with me finding multiple issues with games that I've been playing, um, a lot of people, it seems to me, a lot of people are um, not very happy with my choice of games, but I enjoyed this game a lot more than World of Tanks, and the community does seem to be a little bit better. Obviously, there's always going to be some negativity, but when I played World of Tanks on the console, I was getting at least 10 hate messages a day, and then on my YouTube channel, I was getting more than that because people can be so nitpicky. I wasn't even watching. One shot ammo wrecked. That's pretty rare, but that's pretty funny. I am max loaded with ammunition. So the standard shell on this is actually heat, and the premium shell is Sabo, which can be kind of messed up because you can't shoot through bushes. If you hit any debris on the way in, if the tank has, if you hit a track, it doesn't always pin through. It has 400 millimeters of pin, so if I do hit it, it does penetrate it. And you can, you know, like even if it's a missed shot, it usually goes in and does a ton of damage, so it's kind of worth it. I don't mind it, but I will say that it has been quite an issue because I don't really use heat. I prefer the Sabo round, and I'll show you why if you guys want to see. You get it's a fin stabilized, so it's super accurate. So if you guys watch, see how it just goes right into the like where you're aiming. So you can see, like, so if I want to go right here, so much more accurate, but it costs silver to use them, so I'm just gonna keep using heat. This is, because it's a Leopard, it's absolutely susceptible to aircraft, so it's kind of like if you're using this vehicle, you really, like, after there starts being about 5 airplanes in the air, you start having to, you either have to start trying to shoot them down or switch to a different vehicle. If you don't, you're screwed. So yeah, the M4 M60A1 has protective armor on it, I think. Or maybe this isn't no, this is just an M60. So I can just pretty much shoot it anywhere. Oh no, it does have the protective armor. It works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't work, so the best thing to do is to try and get it in that neck area, and usually it'll go through anyway. You can also go straight for the turret too, which usually goes straight through, but as you can see, sometimes that armor actually works. It's kind of weird when you guys see the Abrams coming in here, the Abrams. I'll shoot it on its side panel, and I'm pretty sure that heat shells would not go through it, but maybe it has to do with the... Maybe it has to do with something else, but sometimes you can shoot a panel off and then do it again. It's kind of weird. I've been using this artillery and I never seem to hear it fire, so I'm wondering if it even works. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to use this plane so I can shoot down some of these aircraft, you know, because they'll start bombing me pretty hardcore unless I start moving around a lot, which is kind of a pain, you know. Oh, nice! I got a the Saber. Let's see if we can get all these guys out of here. Usually, it gives me like a really crappy one. I'm serious, I'm talking like the worst jet you could imagine. Like, it's not even a jet, it's usually like a French jet that's really bad. Okay, this guy's running away from me. This guy's doing something else, I don't know what's going on there. Seems like they're just staying away from me. It happens a lot. I missed him. So I just got killed by, it looks like by a jet. So I'm really surprised that I wasn't able to take out all, you know, like take out at least 3 with the Saber, because it's such a good aircraft. There's nothing that way. Looks like I was the only one over there. It looks like I'm not the only one getting absolutely dropped on here. Yeah, I can't seem to kill anybody with a rocket, and I noticed that that the computer can do it all the time. So here's the Abrams. So technically where I fired shouldn't go through because it has the shield there, but just a little bit below the turret usually gets it. So kind of weird. Like up here, if you shoot low, it just blows the blast shield off, and then sometimes it goes through regardless. I don't know why. To be honest, I think those shields would prevent, you know, these, but maybe they have some sort of penetrating factor where they'll actually just, you know, smash the shield up against the side of the hull, or maybe the jet, when it fires the heat, when it fires the stuff out of it, maybe that, you know, does shoots pretty far. Maybe it can go up to 6 feet. You know what I mean? Something like that, right? I kind of put some decals, so if you get a mark of distinction, oh, this is gonna be close. Then you can have 4 icons on your tank, so I'm pretty close to getting a mark of distinction. I actually don't know why this is considered, like, it's considered like at least 3 levels below the Russian Meg. And I mean, I do know that that Meg was a very good plane. Oh, I'm out. That sucks. Maybe I can ram him. Where you going? Alright. I guess getting 1 is worth something. Ooh, I hit a little low there. Probably should have did a... what is it called? A hard scope? I noticed a lot of people in the M1 getting ammo racked, and it's actually the only reason why is because the M1 has ammunition lower, and if you just take those shells out, you know, and you shoot the 35 that fit into the turret, you'll never get ammo racked. But if they get a shell through your crew can get killed because modern ammunition's better, but oh, I knew it. Yeah, 1 rocket landing just near me kills me with this F-84. I'm really tempted, there's 2 of them, three of them. I'm really tempted to grab the Flak Panzer, but I do need to earn some extra silver, because you guys seen I'm low. I would like to save up the 1,000,000 silver to make this crew expert. It does cost a little bit. It's probably one of the things I like about this game the most is that if you really wanted to and you don't want to have to earn your crew up, you know, like legitimately, you can earn your crew the other way, which is basically just to get it. So if you don't want to have a crappy crew and you'd like them to just be trained. So I can't penetrate with heat the Abrams, but I can penetrate it with the Sabo. So I don't know if that's realistic. Like, I'll show you what I mean. Like, I went through and I hit the fuel tank, but I need to get it through the driver's legs. It's really funny frontally. Ooh, damn rocket. I'll switch back to heat. So frontally I can pin through that lower plate, It says it's only 400, but so we should be able to get a. Yeah, see how it actually works sometimes? Like if you. I think his ammunition must have got hit, so. Yeah. It's really about burning the crew alive, I'm starting to think, because you can get a shot right there, and sometimes it goes through, sometimes it does not. That was actually a very lucky shot. Heat's not everything. I'm actually getting really lucky. Normally I cannot pin that much. You know, frontally, it has to be side shots usually. Looks like I've been getting pretty lucky. I also had a ricochet. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, I'm kind of screwed. I'm just gonna go ahead and back up, repair, let everybody know I'm repairing, and then I'm probably gonna try and shoot down these 2 remaining planes. I'm really in a bad location because if they spawn over there, I could get shot. And of course it gives me this thing, which I actually have to come down, and if I miss on the, like if I don't hit this guy when he comes by, then I'm never gonna catch him. Somebody else shot him down. Now, of course, the computer isn't going to turn away or just start shooting, because, you know, if they actually started shooting at me right now, they'd probably tear this humongous thing apart. But we're going to actually have to... I was hoping to catch him. So you'll see here I won't be able to catch him because the max speed on this thing is like less than 400. Even in a dive, it really doesn't get up to that high of a speed. Yeah, it's like, see you later. Oh, I actually hit him. I guess if you complain about it, it makes it better. Your accuracy goes up. Yeah, something I noticed about this premium vehicle is that when you take damage to, say, the turret, it'll show the damage, which is pretty cool, instead of it just being like a hole. There's really nothing that T-92 can do against heat. It has 0 protection. To be honest, it kind of looks like America tried to copy some of the stuff from the T-62, the real T-62, into this to try and probably come up with alternatives. I think putting the ammunition on either side, it kind of makes it so there's really nothing that can happen if you're in that tank. I mean, the driver's dead. That's all I know. If somebody shoots frontally, the driver's dead. So I decided to put Panther on this, the barrel just for the hell of it, because there isn't any marks of excellence. Even though I know that, you know, like, it's kind of crazy, but I kind of wish that they had Israel. Seriously, I wish there was Israeli tanks. Just because, you know, if you look at the marks of excellence, like where they stem from, a lot of them stem from them. If you look at, like, the guys that, there's a guy that killed something like 10 T-62As or something like that, or 10 T-62s or whatever, T-80s, but they didn't have enough elevation. Yeah, there wasn't enough elevation. They didn't have enough elevation to do anything. Like, they couldn't aim up high enough to shoot these guys in the Centurion, but he still has 10 kills, right? Yeah, this thing runs out of ammunition so quick. Ah, I was trying to ram him. Yeah, there's really nothing I can do at this point with this since I missed with my limited ammunition. I'm gonna go ahead and just eject. Yeah, I think it gives you like maybe 240 rounds, and it's because the thing's not really a jet; it's a rocket engine. Yeah, I think it shouldn't be in here. That particular one, just because it's not real. Yeah, that panel right there seems to be the spot. Yeah, remember I was telling you, like, sometimes those panels will keep the heat from hitting it, and then other times it won't. Very, very weird there. Oops. Can't aim down any lower. It's gonna probably piss these guys off, but I'm gonna go ahead and smoke out and hopefully I'll survive through. This jet is actually kind of cool, but it really doesn't have a lot of ammunition on it. I mean, it really doesn't. Very maneuverable. It's not super fast. I don't actually understand why it's not fast, but it's got a really good gun on it. Like, what I shot was just a little bit much. Like, if we look, it says we have 200 left in the can and 280, so I have to really be careful to burst fire. You can see that I can barely catch this guy. $128 rounds. And I made it. I'm surprised I haven't seen 20 people say, "Why are you smoking? Why are you popping smoke?" These things are basically like butter. I don't actually understand like like if it's the, you know, the development of the Abrams, because they're not very good. I would say maybe when they were, you know, during the time, they were probably better than anything else that was out, but it seems like you can just shoot them anywhere. And they just pop. So I think that they're kind of like the Leopard. Just like, you know, they're just designed to, like, if they see you first, then they get you. If you know, because they have a 152 millimeter gun on it. Which is pretty cool. I've seen some broken textures there. No comments. No comments as yet. Yeah, they replaced the bombers with helicopters, and I can tell you right now that I can't kill nothing with a helicopter. I think I've killed maybe 4 tanks, and I've ran the helicopters like 20 times. Yeah, maybe I'm not good with them, but I've actually flown around, got behind, and used the guided rockets. But because you can't actually see, you know, like, it's not like I can see what the rocket's seeing. I don't even think I even come close to hitting anything, you know? So it's kind of messed up. Something tells me I'm not gonna live through this. Yeah, I'm just gonna eject. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I just was up too high. This map has been tricking me a lot with that, where they spawn one group, and then when I come back, I end up, you know, they spawn one group, and then they spawn another group right next to it. Holy smokes. I was barely able to get back in here. It's okay, when I come back, I should have my tank fixed for me. Yeah, you see the damage on the back there? How it's all broken? Like the sheet's all blown off. Hey, look! What the hell is that? That was crazy. Yeah, this guy's outrunning me like crazy here. Like, I can barely catch him. I had to drop flaps to even catch him. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna catch another aircraft here. Unless he's flying right at me. Yeah. Yeah, so once I get this mark of extinction, it says, or mark of distinction, it says allows to use all 4 slots for decals even without premium. So once I lose premium, then I'll still be able to have, you know, like right now I have 1, 2, and 3. I actually was thinking, I like the red mark because it really pops out, but originally I was going to use, for this, I was going to actually use an American decal, which is basically these. First Platoon's icon. I don't know how I unlocked it. Yeah, I guess you just purchase one vehicle. But yeah, if you take this mark, this particular one, and you put it where I have the other one, you just can't see it. It's not really dark. But I've seen just the V, this one. I've seen just this V on a lot of vehicles, so it seems cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and just hit. Let me see. Let me go ahead and just replace it with German. Yeah, because I like that better. I would like to get this one, but I think it's actually yeah. I have to play 110 battles against other players. Which, to be honest, I actually thought I had played quite a bit, but apparently I haven't played that many. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't want to play. I'm just gonna keep doing this, just trying to make some credits. I'm back up to 500,000, but I want to get like 1,000,000 because let me actually see here. Yeah. So I don't really care about the mouse, and I don't really care about this thing, and I don't see the purpose of getting these at all. I do see the purpose in getting these, so I probably will get this thing, And I think I can jump over from here and go into these, which don't seem very good. They seem like they're okay, but they have this stock gun, the 303 gun with heat from the original Leopard. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, when you get into the 2K here, it has 650 penetration, and then when you get into the Leopard 2A4, it has the 650, and then when you get the Leopard 2A5, it drops to 410. I don't know. I think it's because the standard shell changes. I'm pretty sure that you have to pay for the heat if you want that extra penetration. The 650 is unnecessary, I'll just say. Because I mean, if all you need to do is shoot the lower hull, then you're good. The turrets don't really care. But so if you look here, it says you need to purchase 3 more vehicles of 5 in order to get the tier 6. So that basically means I need to purchase this, this, and this, and I should be able to just purchase all of these because I'm not going to get these. There's no point. I'll probably get this. Was it the Gepard? I'll probably get it because it's a pretty cool looking um, anti-aircraft, and I think that it's going to be really cool to use the radar and all that. Yeah, it should be cool, and I'll be able to shoot down some planes. And then I could probably, once I do that and I start getting into here, I could probably start playing. Multiplayer a little bit more, but I'm just afraid that I'll get angry. I'll get super angry. So it says I got 3 people watching, which probably translates to more like 12 people. But yeah, if you guys want to comment, go ahead and I'll reply to your comment. But I'm just gonna keep playing for silver. There's this new World War battle. I'm gonna wait for it to come out, for real. I mean, it might actually be out for real, but it sounds to me just kind of crazy. I don't know. Like I said before, these games, I think that they should be, like I said, you should never go negative. And when you play a game like this, it shouldn't be about being in a garage. It should be for a specific country. Like, so you'd have the economy of the country, and you shouldn't have to pay for nothing. You know, that's my thing. You know, uh, I think it would be better if it was just like you just had to play the tank a certain amount of times. You know, um, and maybe add in a bonus of where if you use a specific shell type that gun's shell type will be opened on the next one, or it'll give you some kind of advantage, something like that. I think it would be a lot it would be more popular than if you just have to get silver. But when you have silver lions and you have golden lions and you can just purchase through, they can make so much more money, because people don't want to wait. Um, but it's on the edge of being an addictive game. It's mentally addictive, and that's where it's like, you know, it's why I don't want to get into the multiplayer, and I sure as hell am never gonna do a competition situation just because um, the amount of pressure, and then if anybody makes a mistake, everybody jumps that person's ass, and there's always some sort of horrible drama. It's like there's no teamwork. Nobody sits there and goes, hey, the guy messed up. Hopefully he doesn't do it again. Sometimes it's like that, and then sometimes, in a competition, you'll just have everybody want to kick the guy off the team and replace him with somebody. Or if somebody else comes in that's better, that guy just gets sidelined. Which, when you're talking about like professional sports and stuff, when they sign a contract with a guy, that you're just stuck with him. If he fumbles it or takes the air out of the ball, you're stuck. Same with the Lakers. That you can trade a guy, but on World of Tanks or even on this, I couldn't imagine how competitive the clans would be. You know what I mean? It would be crazy. I would say that it would work more effectively for people that really have military training, because if you play in realistic mode in Squadron, you could actively have somebody out there looking for targets and then telling people where the targets are, and that would be your benefit, would be whoever sees the people first and can locate where they are just by simply pinging the map, and saying they're using that bush, you know, uh, and then people could all focus fire on him, but you wouldn't really even have to. Just one guy needs to fire and hit the right spot, and that's pretty much it. On here, it's realistic enough to where it's like when you fire, that's it. There's no more. Oh hey, what's up, HK? Russian. um, it says hi, my English friend. My London not good. You are from Russia. Yeah, I actually forgot to show, but I have been secretly working on the Russian side. I got to the T-34, and I got to the equal. I think it's like rated 2.7 anti-aircraft, and so I'm headed up the Soviet heavy line, and I'm headed up the T-62 and the T-80 line in the Soviet. But it looks like a really long ways, you know. Like you'd think the IS-2 is OP because it has a 122 millimeter gun, but it's got like just a horrendous reload. I think it's even been kind of buffed because I think in real life, I mean that kind of a shell must take two guys to get it in there. Maybe there's a little crane. You know what I mean? Maybe there's a little crane. Ouch. The hell? Who just shot me? Must have been from over there. Yeah, those megs are ridiculous. I hit a tree. Yeah, at this stage, it seems like armor is useless. In the 70s, 60s, and 70s, it seems like armor is absolutely pointless. I'm sure it helps sometimes, and in certain situations against certain vehicles, but if you're shooting a modern E-shell or even the Sabo is so good. It's so good that there's nothing you can do to stop it. The side fins on here, I don't know if they just removed them or made them not work the way they're supposed to. But you can see that I hit an actual track and it still went through, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if that's maybe a bug or what. Yeah, sometimes you get into a situation where there's just like, I don't know if it's just because the guy's lucky or what, but you just can't do anything to him. Like, it'll be at the end of the round and there'll be one tank and nobody can get him off the cap, and it just sits there taking points. I've actually seen us lose games. Not us, but I mean the team I was playing with, everybody lost. Alright, I need to shoot down some of these aircraft. I want to kind of pick off some of these T-10s really quick. They're actually super easy targets when it comes to heat. It's like what I said, it's kind of pointless to have to have so much armor. Oh crap, I didn't get to back off. Yeah, let's... Slow down a little bit. Yeah, I think I got smoked because I left the tank halfway up. Well, I got two. That ought to keep him off us for a little bit. I'll just try and guess where he was there. Yeah, I was getting wrecked. Yeah, whenever I use these, it doesn't seem to work. Watch. There should be a little crosshair showing where... I can hear it firing. I never seem to get any hits with it. It just seems to be like a waste. See what's going on here. I go to next stream. Okay, see you later. Yeah, my tank's tore up. Even the, yeah, there's so much broken on it. Sometimes you can get a repair kit that spawns over here. Yeah, I was gonna say, the Challenger, which is the British version, it's got semi-okay turret armor, really good gun. You know, and then the Abrams has like 3 weak points that don't make any sense to me, which makes me wonder if they're really weak points. And then there's a new shell out there basically that has it's a double stage explosion. And what I mean by that is, so the Chubham armor basically what it does is, because it's like this, it's like having an iron plate with a space and then having another iron plate with a space, and so it deforms any shell going through. Now the Sabo obviously can make it through a lot more layers, but you know, the Abrams front upper turret is 600, but by the gun it's not. It's only like maybe 300, which means if your tank's accurate enough, you can just shoot it there, and even if you didn't kill everybody in it. Oh, that's nice. I might as well eject. That was kind of my bad for driving out in the open. They're not normally. Normally, there's kind of like a spawn protection. It feels like. There's spawn protection, but maybe it's just because I've been driving in these bushes. But for me, right here, it seems to be the best place for this tank. You can get bombed really easy, but it's... I totally thought that was going to hit the side. Surprised that didn't go through. Yeah, the driver was already dead. Yeah, that spaced armor does help, but not quite as much as you might think. I would say during the 40s, it probably helped out a hell of a lot, you know, like 1947. But once they started getting those heat shells, the T10 becomes... Like I said, I don't know if maybe this game thinks it's not fair because some of the vehicles, all they shot was heat, which would mean, you know, Russian tanks maybe would be OP, so maybe they kind of nerfed it. But, I mean, they really are about keeping things realistic, so... You can see that if you do hit something, that 400 millimeters of pin jet still gets through, just maybe not as devastating as it would have been, you know. But you can see like that heat shell still killed the commander. There you go. You can see it ricocheted off the barrel and then went down and killed the entire crew. I actually try to do that a lot, but yeah, they're not even looking at me. They're super distracted with whatever. Go. Doing decent. Definitely gonna have to get rid of these planes here in a minute. You might wonder why I fire, and it's because heat shells, if they even touch a bush, they'll explode. So to kind of make way for it, I try to, you know, it only goes out a couple hundred feet before hitting the ground. But you can see right there, I hit that tree, right? I think it's funny because it makes a thunk sound. It's like thunk. Yeah, having a heat shell that does 400 penetration, there's really nothing that can be done as far as... Yeah, I do like the Chieftain on here. I'll say that the turret, armor, all that stuff does nothing for the actual tank itself. But I will say the side skirts on it and the overall design makes it really tricky. And you have to get lucky to figure out where to shoot it. Seriously, otherwise you'll just be wasting like shells. But once you probe it, you know, like shoot about 10 shots at it, you'll figure out like you can shoot the turret and get the same effect as if you were shooting the hull, stuff like that. Yeah, I really don't think, I think in the future what they're saying is tanks just aren't going to be, they're not as valuable. If you know what I'm talking about, they're just not as good. And they're kind of, you can't use them in an urban environment. If you use them in an urban environment, they're too close to actually shoot other tanks, which is kind of crazy. And then they have that two-stage charge shell, which basically goes in, melts through, and then has a secondary charge go off right after it, which can get through the armor. it can get through that Chubbum armor. At least, you know, at least certain kinds of Chubbum armor, like the side of the Abrams. So a handheld, you know, a handheld one can. Kinda wish I had an afterburner so I could at least catch the MiG. But it looks like I can't. Like he's just slowly getting away. Dang, I just couldn't corner enough. I have flaps down and everything. Yeah, they're struggling with this, with blowing up that guy right there. It's crazy. Just straight struggling. So it feels like I feel like I've shot down a lot more than 4. It really didn't look like it was at that kind of angle. But they're driving right at me, so I should probably start trying to hit the neck of the turret. Like there, it looks like yeah, it actually bounced there, ricocheted the heat shell. Yeah, I remember that on the report, the troops kept saying that there was a defect in the T-62's turret where, you know, that the ammunition's carried low, and then it's funny, the way they explained it doesn't actually tell you where they actually were shooting it. But I think I know where they shoot it at. It's right below the gun, and what would happen is it would just graze the barrel, causing the trajectory to shoot the shells straight down, and then go straight through the top of the T-62. And you can do that with any tank, be honest. If you can get contact with the bottom of the barrel, and it hits like right at the end of its travel, like say like right there, and it goes straight down. If you see that, it's kind of crazy. The Sabo round is devastating. We're almost out of ammunition, which is this is actually rare for me to ever be out of ammunition, but I'm not gonna go ahead, I'm not gonna try. If you try and go out there to get the repair, you can get that one over there. I guess I don't need, I guess I didn't need to go get a repair. Thanks for blowing me up. I'm gonna try and face forward. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the Meg can out-corner the Saber and outrun it, which I guess that's why it's considered a better aircraft. But I do know in Korea, Americans reported that it was actually really flimsy, like that you could be shot down quite easy. But, you know, probably to keep troops' morale up and all that stuff. It's probably propaganda. You know? Propaganda! Really surprised that didn't go through. It does have a, there's like a plate or like tracks there. It's not going through at all. Oh, it's because I'm shooting Sabo. Ah. Yeah, the Sabo is great for side shots and neck of the turret stuff because it's super accurate, but not for straight on shots. Yeah, if you watch the right hand, you'll see that the helicopter is almost pointless against tanks. Ouch. That hurt. I wonder which one of them was actually looking at me. Oh, it was the guy behind him. We're doing really well. We haven't lost shit for points. Be back later, Mac. Okay, catch you later, man. Apparently the driver's face blocked that shell. Ouch. Really, there's 3 aircraft out each round. It's not worth bringing out the flak gun, but it does cost a little bit if you check that out. It costs a little bit. If we lose and I've had too many respawns, it's gonna cost a bit. So I'm just gonna try and try and clean the skies. It'll probably give me some crappy... Yeah, this thing's terrible. Yeah, it's definitely no match for the Meg. Like, if they don't fly right in front of me, like, he's actually getting away from me as we speak. Yeah, it's almost better off... I'm almost better off just ejecting. And hoping that maybe one of them, you know, flies to me. It looks to me like they're just flying away. Yeah, it's just not fast enough to catch them. So I kind of have to hope they drive right in front of me. Yeah, considering this thing has 2 jet motors, you'd think it'd be able to go faster than... faster than 500, but, you know. Ow. Not by 1, but 2 vehicles. What the hell? Of course, the MiG-17 just racked me. So there's 5 aircraft right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just switch to the Flak Panzer. It's gonna cost me a lot because it's 8,000 for one, but I can get rid of some of these planes. Well, I don't think I had to pay the 8,000, so that's good. We'll see here at the end. So I made about 50,000 on that. Flak Panzer, I don't think because it didn't get destroyed. Yeah, because it didn't get destroyed. I don't think I had to pay for it, so that's good. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I have to do some stuff with my son's project really quick. It's his science. It's like a book report. So I'm helping paint a like a upper view of a landmark. Anyway, so yeah, we'll probably be doing the same thing here when I stream again. We'll probably run this to get some more silver, so I can get kind of used to it. I do enjoy the vehicle. I don't know if I would actually want to spend my own money on it. You know, to be honest, I think that a lot of oh yeah, to show you guys what I meant was, see, I have the T-34, the KV-1, and I have this. So I slowly kind of, you know, got them up there. And then, so yeah, so if I was to get a premium, this is pretty much it's the Russian premium vehicle. So I don't know what's up with it. I know that this is to stop the heat shells. Yeah, like I was saying, if you can shoot the shell right and you aim for right here, it'll hit and deflect downward and go right through the center of the vehicle, and everything's there, the gas tank, the driver, all that stuff. It just ignites all these shells. This thing's just stuffed with shells. Jeez, those are some big shells. It almost makes you wonder why they went with the 120 on this. Oh no, this is actually 100. This is a 100. Yeah, this one has composite. I don't know what the equivalency is. It says 120 millimeters worth of metal. So it's 30 plus 120 plus 100. So is that 220, 250? So it's 250 millimeters worth. Plus the fuel tank. Yeah, it's got 2 fuel tanks in front of the ammunition rack. Yeah, it doesn't... Oh no, wait a minute. That's actually the ammunition rack. It's just in a case. Looks like they finally put it into an armored case there a little bit, huh? Like it's actually surrounded in fuel to try and protect that ammunition because it's such a weak spot. Hmm. Didn't think about that one. Um. So I have the like I said, I back when I was really into it, I bought this tank, which can go just as fast forward as backwards. Um, but I didn't really feel like it was worth it. Honestly, I didn't feel like it was a worth it vehicle. I kind of wish I wouldn't have got it. Um, it's fun and it's just like a leopard, but just one shot and that's it. It's just a one shot. The leopard, I knew when I was getting that it's a one shot. You know, I knew that it was a one shot vehicle. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.